Right. Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because you're in store for an amazing treat today. The amazing guest that we have, she's going to share some amazing wisdom on how we can boost profits, reclaim freedom with the power of virtual assistants. So before I bring her in and let you know how amazing she is, which I'm sure you already mentioned and know that, I want to let you know, what are we doing here? What is the purpose of the Freedom Friday show? It is all about supporting you as the entrepreneur in achieving success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is possible to work smarter, not harder, stress less, strengthen our relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that you can create your own time, money, and emotional freedom. And as you know, I bring awesome people on the show to be able to support you in your business and life harmony success. So I want you to give our amazing guest, Diane Rolston, warm Another Level Living welcome. Diane, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the invite to come and to share with your people.
Yay. Yes. Well, let them know who you are and what you're about. Okay. So
Great.
everyone, Diane is an award-winning certified life and business coach, speaker, and CEO of Dynamic Women Global Club. She specializes in coaching high-level dynamic women and entrepreneurs who have been prioritizing success over their satisfaction. And she coaches them to live a life balanced and with confidence to reach their goals faster. Her proven systems and processes help you have clarity on what to focus on and the confidence to go for it, and the action plan with tangible steps. And she loves sharing her proven strategies and interviewing guests on her Dynamic Women podcast. Her newest program, VA Made Easy, is designed to move you from task overwhelm to business ease by passing off your work to your very own VA she hires for you. And you will learn what to delegate and how easily to train them to do it. Plus, you'll get so many of her systems, processes, trainings, strategy, and support. Diane, that's absolutely amazing. So I'm so looking forward to hearing about this because I know this is something that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. So before we get
Mhm.
into it, can you tell us um why go down this route of hiring a VA? What's needed? What does it do and not do for us?
That was like 20 questions in one.
All in one.
Uh, but what I want to start with is, when I came from corporate into my own business, what I was finding was I was on my own. I didn't have a secretary. I didn't have the HR department. I didn't have marketing. I have nobody. It's me. And I'm sure that you felt that when you started your business. A lot of your audience members have felt that too. And so after a while, I realized I'm so overwhelmed and there's no way I can make more money and leverage my time if I'm trying to do it all myself. So I'm sure a lot of people can relate, they're feeling that way as well. And so that's where the idea of I need help comes into place. But a lot of business owners think I still got to do it on my own. I still got to I got to work harder. I got to maybe work smarter or more hours. But once I hired at first a Canadian assistant, I started to see, oh, like I'm gaining back some time. And I know you're all about freedom. And so I started to gain back some freedom. And then I quickly filled that time with more tasks. And then my business started growing and I was thinking, okay, well, I've got to give her more tasks, but she's kind of expensive. And so that's an expense in my business to have an employee, right? And then over time, I also realized there's some of the tech stuff I just can't get support with. And over, about 6.5 years, I had different Canadian assistants. And eventually my last one wanted to focus on her family, have a bit more freedom. And so I hired a virtual assistant in the Philippines. And that's when my business really started to take off, because I could leverage that they're about a third of what we would pay in Canada or the States, that they're highly competent, especially in tech, that they love to learn, and they're highly motivated, and they're so grateful and for the work, right? And so now with 2 virtual assistants from the Philippines, both of them over 20 hours each, there are so many things that I'm able to pass off. And so to go from that overwhelm to that business ease now, which you're all about, has just been such an amazing process. But I see so many obstacles for business owners to be able to take that step of like, okay, I'm going to hire someone, and I'm going to hire someone abroad. There's so many things that are in their way. And so I decided that after coaching all these clients who were saying, I need help, I need help, I need help, and I was giving them my VAs, eventually I was like, no, you need your own VA. And so that's kind of how I got into that. I'll kind of pause there and give you the mic back.
Oh my gosh, no, that was so good. We loved hearing your story of transformation, because I'm sure that a lot of us who are listening could identify with those piece parts, and so my question is, well, first question is, what do you think kind of gets in the way of people actually hiring someone? What are maybe those roadblocks that kind of get in the way?
Yeah, there are 5 critical problems. I'm going to give you a couple of them today.
Okay, cool.
One of them is, I don't know what to delegate. Right. And it's such a simple thing. Well, I don't know what to give them. I don't know what to pass off. Yet if I ask someone, what's your to-do list? They'd give me 100 things. And if I said to them, what are unfinished projects? They'd give me a list of them. And what are things you aspire to do in your business? They'd give me a dream list, right? And so these are the things that you give a VA. But the problem is, when they say, I don't know what to delegate, they often just go to a list that someone else has made, like the shiny object syndrome list. I want a podcast. I'd like to be over here, like using all these landing pages, and I'd like a book. And I'm like, but what are your actual goals in your business? So what I do with my clients in the VA Made Easy program is I say, no, wait, pull back. What are your actual business goals right now? What are your life goals right now in all areas of life? And what do you want to achieve in your business in the next quarter, the next 6 months, the next year? Now let's decide based on those goals what you're going to pass off to your VA. So if someone says, well, I want to run a summit. Great. Let's have your VA help you find speakers, help you create the graphics, help you market it, help you create the landing pages, the email sequences. And they go, oh, there's so much to do. Or I'll say, how are you with posting on social? No, I get to it sometimes. Great. So your VA will do your social media content creation. That's a whole system. And then I say, do you engage with people online? Oh, I try to. Are you following up with messages? Most of the time, or comments on your posts. I say, great. Social media management can be a VA role as well. So that's kind of the first thing is, I don't know what to delegate.
Well, let me pause you on that, because you hit something that was so golden. And it's funny, I just recorded a video about it where they have all these plans, this shiny objects. There's all these things that we can do that people say we should do. And then it's oftentimes a conflict between what we're called to do, right? Like what is our unique plan. So you allowing them to be able to highlight that first totally opens up the space for natural guaranteed success, especially when they leverage people to be able to support them. So good.
And that's why I love working with people on this, because what I've seen is they go on to Fiverr and they look at all the things people can do, or they kind of know what they want to have someone do, and then they try to find someone to match that. That's not a good path to success. Or they go to Upwork, they post their job, they maybe get someone there, but the thing is, we want to have a task that's not just a task, but we want to go into the next stage, which is a repeatable task, something they can do over and over and over again, because you're going to spend all day coming up with one-off tasks and the system for that and the training for that. Now, luckily, my clients get all of my trainings on that, as you mentioned, but you want to move into that next step, right? And so if you're just looking at these lists of things, you're not actually going to move your business forward in a profitable way. You're just going to be doing piecemeal stuff all over the place. So if I can give a quick activity to your community, is if you think, I don't have enough to delegate, I don't know what to delegate, I encourage you, put on a timer for 10 minutes and just write down all of the things you haven't gotten to yet that you'd like to do.
Nice.
Then that's the immediate exercise. Exercise number 2 is over this the next week. So if you're listening to this on a Friday, you start on Monday. If you're listening to it on a Wednesday, you're going to start Wednesday and then also do Monday, Tuesday. You're going to do a whole 5 days of your work week. And you're going to write down all the things you do, everything, answer emails, write email copy, go live, right? And then you're going to start to see, okay, what are the things I could delegate? I could delegate setting up that email for me, maybe drafting the email. I could pass that off. Going live. I should probably do that because it's my business. However, I could delegate them repurposing that. So if you just write down everything you do for the week, you'll be surprised, especially the day that I did that. I was like, it takes me 5 hours to do a blog. Screw that. I'm not doing blogs anymore. But not doing blogs is not a good business choice for me. Right. So I had to come up with a new solution to that. But anyway, first task, 10 minutes, write down everything you haven't gotten to. And then the next task over the next week, write down all the things you're doing in your business. And that's going to give you so many, 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 many things that you can pass off to a virtual assistant.
So good. So good. Okay. So this is your homework, your opportunity for learning. Everyone who's listening, make sure you take action and do that, right? This is bringing you towards your freedom in all areas of life. So tell us, what's the second? What's another one of those roadblocks that kind of get in the way?
Yeah. This one was true for me and true for a lot of the high achieving business owners and successful business owners that I meet. And even the new people, they say this, they go, I'm too busy to train a VA. How would I ever have the time? Okay, so you stay on that hamster wheel. If you'd like, it's just going to go faster and faster and faster. And eventually you're going to get thrown off and you're going to maybe have a breakdown. How do I know? I've been there. I've had clients be there where it just became too much. And so instead of thinking about, I'm too busy to train, I'm not going to try to convince you that you're not too busy. I'm just going to tell you an easy way to train, right? You don't have to sit for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks and train a VA. It's the 3-step model. First, you just get on a video and you talk through what you're doing. Okay. So I'm adding a new person to my database. I log in, I go here, I put this here, I put where I met them, I put their email address, and I put this information about their company if I have it. Okay, so you just do a little video. Then you have your virtual assistant document the process for you. So now they have a checklist. They have a play-by-play like instruction manual of how to do this. Nice. So that trains them then to go into the 3rd step, which is they actually now do the task. And so if you said, this is how you add someone to my database, and then in 2 weeks, you say, here are the 5 people I met at this event, add them to my database, the VA is going to go, I have a training on that I made myself. I'm going to go back through the checklist and see how to do that. Oh, I forgot how to do step 2. I'm going to rewatch the video. So now they're managing their own training. And the benefit of this, what happens if you lose your VA? What happens if your business grows? That VA is so amazing, they move up into a higher role. Someone else comes in. They have a whole set of SOPs, standard operating procedures, a manual, a training library for them. So that's kind of the way I have my clients do it. Or an easier way is I just give them my systems and my processes and my training videos and my checklists. So if you can find someone you can get them from, that's a lot faster, right?
Diane, this is so good. This is gold right there. Everyone who's listening, how golden that is. You just totally debunked a lot of the mind monkeys that happen when even people start thinking about hiring a VA, right? Like it doesn't have to be so hard, right? Oh, so good. So good. Okay. So what I heard you say was, okay, I don't know what to delegate. I don't have time to train a VA. Is there one more that you can be able to share with us? That's usually a big roadblock for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. One is it's just so expensive to have a VA. Or another flip side of that is I'm just not in a place in my business where I can afford to have a VA. Well, here's the truth. The two biggest obstacles that I see in business owners is one, you don't have enough time to do your cash flow activities. If you're not doing your cash flow activities, you're not making enough money. So what if you passed off some of this busy work to a virtual assistant, which I call potentially low impact, low income producing work? You give it to them. And then you start focusing on high impact, high income producing tasks. Like you went to that networking event, you had those 5 people that your VA put into your system. How about you actually reach out to them? Right? Or you get invited to be on someone's show like I am today. I have time for this, right? This now expands my connections with you and my reach and my message. That is a smart decision. So you're saying, I don't have money to. Well, what if you just started working on those high impact, high income producing cash flow activities? What if you made another offer and you actually sold it, right? We get so stuck in the weeds of where we're not supposed to be in our business. That whole you need to stop working in your business, work on your business. And so that is the biggest shift that business owners need to make, is putting them back in the CEO role by having that support. And the truth is, if you're hiring abroad, I prefer the Philippines, you can get a highly competent virtual assistant for about 1/3 of the price, 1/3 of the investment. So rather than the 10 hours maybe you could have over here with a local person, you could have 20, 30 hours. Imagine how much faster your business can get ahead when you've got someone supporting you for that much time. And we can't forget the freedom piece, right? It just gives you more freedom, because the other thing that I'm seeing in business owners is they're just running themselves ragged and they feel like, oh, I got to choose between my business and time with loved ones. My business, time for myself. My business, my health. My business, my fun. This way, you have more space.
Well, it's so interesting because it creates like a glass ceiling. It's almost like you're saying, people say, I can't afford to do it. But what you're highlighting is that we can't afford not to, because it limits our own growth, our own business growth and expansion. So a lot of times we have this glass ceiling that we got to be able to break through. And you're saying that the best way to do that is not going the battle alone, but having this right support in place to be able to make your dreams a reality. So good.
Exactly. And I've had times where I've been sick and my VA stepped in. I had a time when my dad went into palliative care. Who wants to be taking care of business behind the scenes when a loved one is dying? Nobody. I still put out a blog every week. I still put out all my emails every week, all my social posts, because it wasn't me. I didn't have to do it. And on the positive side, I also was able to do 3 weeks vacation. I was invited to go with a friend to Mexico for a week.
Ooh.
Then I was invited with 3 friends to go to Hawaii for the week. Aloha, right? So I flew from one to the other, came back, celebrated Thanksgiving, then jumped on a plane with my family to Vegas for a week, where I also did some business. But I didn't work basically 3 weeks of a month. That would be a killer for a business. right? My business still made money. My business still ticked on. And what business owners have said to me, even though like, I'm not ready and I don't have money and I'm not far along enough. And then they start working with a VA. I get these heartfelt messages like from Leslie who says, Diane, like I actually feel like I have like a proper business now. Because she's like, where is this, Leslie? Where is that, Leslie? Let's do this, Leslie. She's like, it's amazing. She said, Diane, this has really changed my life.
Oh,
And I was like, a VA changed your life? And then I was like, okay, yes. I had to remember back to when I first got mine. And I was like, she's right. She's right.
oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. You shared with us so many amazing nuggets because I know that it is very common to fall into those buckets. And what you shared with us was how to be able to break free from that. So what is like one of the biggest things, like the biggest takeaway that you can be able to share with us now that like will almost like bring it home? Like what is the one thing you want to be able to leave with us in this space?
Yeah. You have permission to ask for help. You have permission to ask for help, support, right? Help to hire, help to get things done, help to scale your business. It's a smart decision to have someone support you. You cannot do it all alone, right? Jack Canfield, I was interviewed the other week by Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, business empire, basically. And he asked me, like, what's the one thing? And I was like, you can't do it all yourself. And he's like, you're so right. Because people keep trying to do this, but you're going to end up being burnt out. And the worst thing is, this dream and the gifts that you have inside of you will not flourish. You'll be limited in the people that you can help. Your legacy will be distinguished. It's just like, in order for you to build what you want to build and help the people you want to help and have the profit and freedom, it takes a team, right? You can't do it by yourself.
Good. So good. Oh my gosh, that's like a mic drop moment. I want everyone who's listening to take that into your mind, body, and soul right now and own that because you deserve to have support, right? Like it's every person holds a piece to the masterpiece, and you're called for this big vision that is not only for you, but for all the people that you're called to serve. So doing yourself a disservice of not getting support with the VA is actually making success longer, more painful. And we want that success right now.
Yeah. Well, Glynis said to me, one of my clients, she's a professional speaker, she coaches, and she said, Diane, I've gotten more done in the last 6 weeks than I have in the last 6 months.
Oh,
thank you.
wow.
I was like, thank yourself for like saying yes to getting a VA. Like you did the work. Well, your VA did the work, but you know what I mean.
Well, tell us, how can people stay connected to you? Do you have like a free gift for our community? Anything that you can be able to share so we can continue what we have established here, so therefore they can take the next step and get to know you more?
Yeah, thanks for asking. And I always love giving gifts. I think that's really important because I want people to be able to get over some of the blocks. So I mentioned that I do have the 5 critical problems to avoid when delegating. I talked about a couple, but I go more into depth and give more solutions in my free gift called the 5 critical problems to avoid when delegating, so you can maximize your time and increase your profits. So I'm sure you'll be given that link.
I'm going to put the link in the chat below. Make sure y'all grab
Amazing.
it as soon as you see it. Okay. It'll be after we end. So yay.
Yeah.
Okay,
and if this
cool.
has sparked any questions, like I'm happy to speak to your people if they are like, but I have this burning question, you didn't answer it. I'm like, okay, just email me, Diane@DianeRolston.com. Happy to answer questions. And to have a chat with anyone who is feeling like, oh man, like I still have these obstacles, or I'm gung-ho, like, what do I do? because there are a lot of
Yes.
questions to be answered.
Yes, and Diane will answer them. So I'll also put her email in the link below. I'm sure it's in her free gift as well. Go ahead and reach out to Diane and so let her support you in actually getting the support that you need in a much more easier, faster, affordable way so that you can create your own time, money, and emotional freedom. And put your biggest takeaway in the chat below. We want to hear from you too. And if you like this message, which I know you did, sharing is caring. So make sure that you go ahead and share it. And Diane, thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom today. It has been
Thank you.
absolutely amazing.
Much appreciated. I always love chatting with you. I had you on my show, and just such good energy. And I really appreciate you trusting me to come in and share.
Oh, totally my pleasure, honor, pleasure, and highest purpose. We're just so grateful for you. And everyone who's listening, let this message soak into your soul over the weekend and beyond. And we look forward to seeing you again on another episode of Freedom Friday next week. And have an amazing rest of the day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.